Hey, it's me. Hey, my kids are in bed. Are yours? Cool. Got time for a quickie? Okay, good. Your house or mine? Okay, see you soon. That is a conversation I had several times a week about 10 years ago. No, I wasn't stepping out on my husband. I was arranging a Scrabble game. My name is Erika and I have many passions in life, two of which are the game of Scrabble and my career. I've learned that it's not necessarily how intelligent you are, but how intelligently you play the game. I've drawn several correlations between Scrabble strategy and business strategy, and I'm going to share a few of those with you here. So, be prepared, manage your resources, and embrace change. Being prepared. We often know that learning and being prepared is the key to success, whether it be when you're playing a game or whether you're looking at your career. So we all prepare for our careers by getting educated. We go to college, we go to a trade school, we get a job, we gain experience in our job, we get furthering education by going to trade shows or conventions, and we read and we learn about current events because all of these things help us move up the corporate ladder or help us become successful in business, whether that is moving up the corporate ladder or making more money or just making a difference in life. The same goes for the game of Scrabble. You must be prepared. So what I call the Scrabble Bible is the official Scrabble dictionary. And in it are all of the acceptable words of play. So the first thing that I always suggest to anybody new at Scrabble is learn the 2- and 3-letter words, okay? So it sounds fun. It's actually probably not as hard as you would think because you probably already know most of those 2- and 3-letter words. But you need to concentrate on the odd ones, the ones that use the high-scoring tiles, and the ones that can help you make strategic plays. So here are some examples of acceptable 2- and 3-letter words in Scrabble. The next thing you probably ought to learn, and the Scrabble dictionary can help you, is that there is a selection of words that involve the letter Q that do not use a U. Very important in Scrabble. You can draw that Q, and if you don't get a U, you got to figure it out. So here are a sampling of Q words with no U. An interesting story here is that by the time my son was in 3rd grade, he'd been playing Scrabble with me regularly. And I got a call one day from his teacher. They had been teaching spelling and teaching that a Q is always followed by a U. They were less than amused by his persistence that that is not true, and I have a list at home. The next strategy is managing your resources. All of us have certain resources and assets available to us at any given time. The key is to manage how you use those resources and use them to the best of your competitive advantage. Likewise, you may have to just make a decision and move on. If it's a mistake, if you've messed up, learn from it and continue on. So in Scrabble, there is a term called rack management. It is not an undergarment. That is your rack in Scrabble, okay? And those are your resources. Those are your tiles. So there are several ways that you can manage your resources in Scrabble. One is shuffle your tiles on your rack very frequently, okay? A new word might come up. A new word, if you play online, hit the shuffle key, okay? You're going to see different things, and things might come to you that maybe didn't occur to you before. Likewise, in business, think outside the box, right? If you're stuck in something, go sit on the other side of your office and look at something else. Look at a different view. Sometimes you might have a spark of creativity. Additionally, some important resources you have in Scrabble are your power tiles. Now, depending on who you ask, the power tiles might differ. In my opinion, they are the 5 highest scoring individual tiles and the 2 blanks. Okay, these are your high scores. So back when I said the 2- and 3-letter words, especially if you can learn 2- and 3-letter words that contain those tiles, you're more likely to be successful. Manage your resources. When do I play that tile? I can get this many points if I play it now, but if I wait, can I put it on a 3-letter score? Okay? You have to make a decision and move on, just like if you have stock options that are vested, okay? If I exercise now, I could get this much, but what if I waited and it went up? Great. What if you waited and it went down? Not so great. So make a decision with the resources you have at the time you have them. Now let's look at the blanks. The blanks are like a wild card in poker, okay? They have no value, but they can be any letter you want. So the blanks are very helpful when you're trying to make a bingo. A bingo in Scrabble is you've played all 7 of your tiles at once, okay? 50 bonus points. Awesome, okay? Now, from my standpoint, it's not always great to have 2 blanks in your rack, okay? Because sometimes you can't figure out what to do. Sometimes if you have too many options, you can't decide, right? I remember I always told my kids, not what do you want for breakfast? Because God, they could sit there and think for Lord knows how long. You say, do you want waffles or cereal? Sometimes if you narrow things down, you can make a decision and move on. The third strategy I'll compare Scrabble to business in is embrace change. We all know that we live in a world of change. The more things change, the more they change. So we know that in the cable industry, right? We have new terms that come up every year, every couple of years. We need to know what DOCSIS 3.1 is. We need to know what beamforming is. What about this cutting the cord, right? TV everywhere. We have to be flexible. We have to embrace change, and we have to use those new terms as we move along. Now, same as in Scrabble, when I talked about the Scrabble dictionary before, they come out with a new version of that dictionary every 2 or 3 years, okay? They've recently come out with a new version. There are 6,500 new words in the Scrabble dictionary this year, okay? Some of the more traditional, old school Scrabble players, not happy about some of the words that were included this year. So we'll take a look at some of those now. Tunage. It's what's on your iPod. Emoji. We use them, especially we use them when we text if we have kids. No comment. But you may twerk with your besie, your best friend. Okay. The traditionals, they say ixnay, Pig Latin for no, right? That's in there now. Isn't it obvious?
That's not obvious.
And ridic. They think it's ridiculous, these Scrabble traditionalists. So anyway, the list goes on. It's crazy what new words are in there now. So, in the end, if you don't play Scrabble, I really, really encourage you to give it a try. Hit me up online, I'll play with you. So the strategies that you learn playing Scrabble very well might help you climb up the corporate ladder. They just might help you triumph. Hey, that's a bingo. Thank you.